November kicked off with a shock. Much of the country woke up to a blanket of snow, skipping straight past autumn. Instead of raking leaves, millions found themselves digging out winter coats and shoveling driveways. This wasn't just a dusting, it was a widespread early blast of winter, especially across the central and eastern U.S. The sudden switch from mild days to freezing temperatures caught everyone off guard. Conversations quickly shifted from Thanksgiving plans to winter tires and heating bills. Whether you saw a few flurries or several inches, this early November snow became the talk of the nation. It was a powerful reminder of how quickly weather can upend our routines. This chilly surprise will be remembered for seasons to come. Perhaps the most remarkable part of this winter event wasn't just the cold, but where the snow actually fell. For many, the idea of snow in the South seems almost like a fantasy, a story told in passing, but rarely experienced firsthand. Yet this time, the South found itself at the center of a wintry spectacle that left residents and meteorologists alike in awe. Snow reached deep into the South, blanketing cities and towns that are more accustomed to mild winters and the occasional chilly rain. The sight of snowflakes drifting down onto palm trees and blooming camellias was both surreal and enchanting, transforming familiar landscapes into something out of a storybook. Cities like Charlotte, Myrtle Beach, and even parts of South Carolina saw their earliest ever snow flurries. For many residents, it was the first time they'd ever seen snow so early in the season, and certainly the first time they'd seen it coat their neighborhoods in November. The snowflakes fell gently, dusting rooftops, lawns, and even the sandy beaches along the coast. Locals rushed outside to snap photos of the rare sight, snow on sandy shores. Children built tiny snowmen on the beach, while adults marveled at the contrast between the white snow and the rolling waves. Social media quickly filled with images and videos as people shared their disbelief and excitement with friends and family across the country. Even coastal Virginia and northeastern North Carolina got in on the wintry action, with measurable snow in places that usually see rain, not flakes. Beach towns that typically prepare for hurricanes and summer tourists instead found themselves waking up to a world transformed by winter's touch. The snow lingered just long enough for everyone to savor the moment. This was no ordinary cold front. It was a historic Arctic air mass that plunged southward, shattering temperature records and bringing a taste of the far north to regions that rarely see such extremes. The cold air swept in quickly, catching many off guard and setting the stage for this extraordinary snowfall event. For many, it was the first November snow in memory, a fleeting moment of winter magic that brought communities together. Neighbors gathered outside, children played in the snow, and families made memories that would last a lifetime. The excitement was palpable as everyone realized they were witnessing something truly special. Meteorologists took note. This early season outbreak set records and created lasting memories. Weather experts scrambled to document the event, comparing it to past storms and marveling at the rarity of such widespread southern snowfall. The data collected will be studied for years, helping scientists better understand the unique conditions that made this event possible. Snow in the South, especially this early, is a clear sign of just how intense this weather pattern was. It's a reminder that even the most familiar places can be transformed by the power of nature, and that weather can surprise us when we least expect it. The South's brief encounter with winter left a lasting impression on all who experienced it. It was a beautiful, brief taste of winter where few expected it. A magical moment that will be remembered long after the snow has melted and the warmth of the South returns. While the South marveled at flurries with children running outside to catch rare snowflakes and neighbors snapping photos of palm trees dusted in white, a very different scene was unfolding farther north. For many in the southern states, even a light dusting of snow is a novelty, something to be celebrated, shared, and remembered. But as the excitement over a few flakes filled the air, the real story of this winter storm was just beginning to take shape hundreds of miles away. The Midwest and interior Northeast faced a true winter storm, with blizzard conditions sweeping across small towns and rural highways. Winds howled through empty streets, and visibility dropped to near zero as snow fell relentlessly, blanketing everything in sight. For residents here, this was not just another winter day, it was a test of endurance and preparation. Northern Indiana, western Michigan, and upstate New York saw over a foot of snow, thanks to classic lake effect conditions. Snowdrifts piled high against homes and fences, and roads quickly became impassable. In some places, the snow came down so fast that plows struggled to keep up, leaving entire neighborhoods temporarily stranded. The Great Lakes and Appalachian Mountains amplified the snowfall, transforming ski resorts and mountain towns into winter wonderlands. Resorts that had only just opened for the season suddenly found themselves with perfect powder, drawing skiers and snowboarders eager to make the most of the early bounty. In mountain communities, the landscape was transformed overnight, with trees and rooftops coated in a thick, sparkling layer of snow. Residents found themselves shoveling out much earlier than usual. For many, it was the first time this season they had to dig out driveways and clear off cars, a chore that came as a surprise so early in the year. Snowblowers roared to life, and neighbors helped each other tackle the heavy, wet snow that had accumulated overnight. The relentless snow bands made travel tough and signaled a fast start to winter. Highways slowed to a crawl as drivers navigated slick, snow-covered roads, and many commuters found themselves delayed or forced to turn back. For those who ventured out, the journey was a reminder of just how quickly winter can take hold. Even areas accustomed to heavy snow were surprised by the early timing. In cities like Buffalo, where winter storms are a way of life, residents looked out their windows in disbelief at the deep snow so soon after autumn's end. The early arrival caught many off guard, with winter gear and snow tires still packed away. Just a short drive inland from the I-95 corridor, the difference was dramatic. Rain for some, a major snow event for others. Coastal cities saw only wet roads and gray skies, while just a few miles away, communities were buried under a thick blanket of snow. The sharp contrast highlighted how quickly conditions could change depending on geography and elevation. Geography played a starring role, with the lakes and mountains turning a cold snap into a memorable storm. The unique combination of cold air, moisture, and elevation created a perfect recipe for heavy snow, leaving meteorologists and locals alike marveling at the power of nature. For many, it was a wake-up call. Winter had arrived, ready or not. The season's first big storm served as a reminder to prepare for the months ahead, as communities across the region braced for whatever winter might bring next. What caused this early winter blast? The polar vortex. Normally this swirling mass of cold air stays locked over the North Pole, but sometimes it weakens and a piece breaks off, plunging south. That's exactly what happened. A chunk of the vortex dipped into the US, opening the door for Arctic air. This wasn't just a cool breeze, it was true polar air, fueling widespread snow and record cold. The polar vortex isn't a storm, but a pattern that sets the stage for dramatic weather. When it's strong, winters are milder. When it weakens, as it did now, we get frigid outbreaks. This time, all the ingredients align for a major early season event. The polar vortex remains the master puppeteer of our winter weather. The good news, this snow event is winding down. Most areas have seen the last of the steady snow, though the Northeast is still dealing with lingering flurries and lake effect bands. Buffalo, upstate New York and parts of New England could see a final dusting or a couple more inches in the mountains. By Friday, the system will exit and the persistent snow showers will finally end. It's been a marathon event, with some areas seeing snow for days. Soon, shovels can be put away, at least for now. This early season pattern was a shock, but it's finally wrapping up. Now attention turns to what's next in the forecast. Ready for a break? A warming trend is on the way. The polar vortex is retreating, replaced by a ridge of high pressure bringing milder air. Above-average temperatures are expected to settle in by the weekend and could last through Thanksgiving. Travel conditions should be much calmer and less wintry for most. Winter isn't over, but any cool shots will be weaker and mostly bring rain, except in typical snowbelt areas. No major snowstorms are expected during this warm spell. Enjoy the return to autumn-like weather, a welcome pause before winter's next act. The snowpack will melt, and outdoor life will be more pleasant. It's a classic late autumn tug-of-war, but for now, mild air is winning. Don't get too comfortable. Signs point to a snowy December ahead. Long-range models suggest the polar vortex could weaken again after Thanksgiving, sending more Arctic air south. Another key player, the Madden-Julian Oscillation, or MJO, is moving into phases that favor cold and snow in the central and eastern US. When the polar vortex and MJO align, the stage is set for active winter weather. Forecasting specifics is tricky, but the overall setup looks primed for a fast, snowy start to December. The combination of these climate drivers is a strong signal for wintry weather, so keep your winter gear handy. December could bring a quick return to snow and cold. The temporary thaw won't last long. One more piece of the puzzle, the North Atlantic Oscillation, or NAO. The NAO measures pressure differences over the North Atlantic, swinging between positive and negative phases. A negative NAO weakens the usual west to east winds, allowing the jet stream to dip and Arctic air to surge south. This pattern, called the Greenland block, can trap storms along the east coast and fuel major winter events. The recent early snow was helped by a negative NAO, and forecasts suggest it may stay negative into December. If so, the chances for big East Coast storms rise dramatically. When the NAO, MJO, and polar vortex all align, it's a classic recipe for a cold, snowy December. The atmosphere is setting the stage for an active winter. To sum up, November kicked off with a surprise snowstorm that caught many off guard, transforming quiet neighborhoods into winter wonderlands overnight. The sudden shift from autumn's golden leaves to a world of white was a dramatic reminder of how quickly the seasons can change, and how unpredictable the weather can be this time of year. Snow didn't just blanket the usual northern cities. It reached as far south as Atlanta, surprising residents and creating rare scenes of snow in places that don't often see it. From the deep south to the northeast, communities experienced the full force of winter's early arrival. Behind the scenes, powerful atmospheric forces were at work. The polar vortex spun cold air down from the Arctic, while the MJO, a tropical weather pattern, helped stir up the atmosphere, and the NAO shifted pressure systems across the Atlantic. All these factors combined to create a perfect recipe for rapid weather changes, making it clear that even the best forecasts can be challenged by nature's complexity. One moment, skies were clear and calm. The next, snow was falling fast, reminding us how quickly conditions can shift. Now, as we move deeper into November, a warming trend is on the horizon. This brief spell of milder weather offers a welcome break from the cold, giving everyone a chance to catch their breath and enjoy the outdoors before winter returns in full force. It's perfect timing for Thanksgiving travel and gatherings, with roads and airports expected to be less impacted by wintry conditions. Families can look forward to safer journeys and more comfortable celebrations. But don't let your guard down. As quickly as the warmth arrives, it can disappear. Weather models are already hinting at changes ahead, and seasoned locals know that winter can return in the blink of an eye. Long-range signals point to a renewed surge of cold and snow as December approaches. Meteorologists are watching for signs of another round of wintry weather, with cold fronts and snowstorms potentially making a comeback. The ingredients are lining up for an active start to winter, especially as cold air and moisture converge over the central and eastern U.S. This could mean more frequent storms and heavier snowfall than usual. Cities like Chicago, New York, and many rural communities in the heartland should be prepared for the possibility of significant snow events. While no one can promise a white Christmas, the setup this year is promising for those dreaming of snow-covered holidays. The anticipation is building, and many are already dusting off their sleds and holiday decorations. The stage is set for significant storms with the potential for dramatic weather swings. Weather is always evolving. Each week brings new surprises and challenges. This early snowstorm was just the first chapter in what could be a memorable winter season. The story is only beginning. The coming warmth is the next chapter, offering a brief intermission before the next act. But as December's forecast unfolds, all eyes are on the skies. The plot is about to thicken, with new weather systems developing and the potential for more surprises just around the corner. Stay tuned, stay prepared, and keep an eye on the forecast. Make sure your emergency kits are ready, your winter gear is handy, and your travel plans are flexible. And remember, in weather, always expect the unexpected. The only certainty is change. So, be ready for whatever this winter has in store.